Alrighty, welcome back to another Album Yapcast. This week, we are taking a look back at the 100 episodes of our podcast and picking our top 3 albums. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I guess I'll start with my number 1 album, which is Somewhere City by Origami Angel.
You know what's funny? That is also my number 1 album that we reviewed.
My number 1 has got to be last week's D-Love's in the Comatorium by the Mars Volta.
My number 1 is Orpheus versus the Sirens.
So Carson just peaked week 4 and was just like, everything else sucks.
Yeah, you didn't even make it out of season 1.
No, coming back and looking at that, it's definitely been one of my favorite reviews. I got to talk a lot in that episode. I yapped a lot about the story of that, and I had a really fun time breaking it down for you guys, even though you guys didn't really like it. But Logan has come back and said multiple times after that he is... were you saying you like it now?
I have re-swung on it. I have listened to it like 2 or 3 times since. And yeah, it's quite enjoyable when I'm in the mood for it. It is definitely not one that I can just listen to and enjoy the way you can. But if I'm feeling like I want to listen to something that is not music, I'll throw that on.
Yeah, that's a personal favorite that I brought on, and it got just absolutely smashed by you guys. You guys hated it. But I still had a great time doing it. It's been one of my favorites that we've ever done. And it's always great to look back at like where you started.
You're going to have to send me that album because now I want to know what music is.
So to me, it bridges the gap of things I like to listen to while doing things, which is music and listening to podcasts. It's like somewhere in between. It's like if an audiobook had a beat to it.
It is kind of like if an audiobook had a beat. It is.
It's spoken word, hip hop, rap in that vein. It's pretty cool.
You would probably like this band that I heard a demo for. They were a band that read Dr. Seuss books over pop beats.
Oh, I would so love that.
The problem is that they could not get any of the licenses to play anywhere.
That makes sense.
They should have seen that coming, but yeah.
Other than that, Somewhere City, goated album. Anthony brought it to us. I think since then we've all bought it on vinyl. Or Carl, have you?
I haven't yet, but it's... When have you seen me buy a new vinyl?
That is true. I don't think I've seen you... Shoot, I haven't seen you buy vinyl in general in a while.
To be fair, I need to pop everything into something and know what's what, because I keep buying duplicates, because it is what it is.
I think on the show, that was like the first album that was like universally loved.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've had... there were albums that were universally liked, but I think that was the first one that like... the whole album was added to playlists across the board. It was definitely the first one with a consistent 10 on anything, and it was like half the album.
Yeah, I think it not only nailed all of them, but actually spawned some more rules for us of like how we judge things.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge player in the ending of album rule, which is not a rule for every album, but concept albums at least, that kind of set the bar.
That, and then it also kind of opened us up to having more 10s on. I mean, even look at our last review.
Yep.
Steven was so hesitant to break the rule of more than 110 that we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere City pretty much broke that.
I just think we're getting nicer as things go along.
I think what we're finding out is a lot of music is very similar, and we have to stop judging it as if all music can be its own individual thing. And we had to accept that some people just want to sound like everybody else.
Carl, what was your favorite?
Armistice or D-Love's.
D-Love's, yeah. Yeah, as far as like, it's a combo just because it's so fresh. But I've loved that album since I found it, which was not when it came out, but I missed the boat by about 10 years. But going through all the lore and learning all that stuff was just super cool. You know, I don't think I've ever reviewed anything and liked it more when I was done, and that happened. I just thought that was really cool.
I think the only problem I found with that album in our show is I didn't want to review it. I just wanted to listen to it. It's one of those ones that was so good that I was like, I don't want to do my job right now.
Well, it's really funny. None of us really had any notes. It was all like, yeah, they were good. And then we talked about the lore. I mean, that was about it, because there's really not much. You get sucked in.
What do you say to that either? It's like, yeah, if you could be a little less insane here, it'd be cool. No. ready for song 2? Or
Song 2?
album 2?
Album 2.
Sorry. Yeah, for my number 2, I had D-Loud's at the Comatorium.
I also had D-Lives at the Comatorium.
Nice. I had Somewhere City.
Wow, look at these guys. I had Food, MF Doom.
We should have brought somebody to replace one of the three of us.
Yeah, probably. Very unfortunately, there was like a definitive 2 in my brain the second this video was pitched. And then it was truly a matter of finding a third and then some, because I really find it hard to do anything other than those 2 as the top albums we reviewed, just thinking about how universally they were all liked and just the way that we didn't really have notes for any of them. So those just felt like the universal 2.
I think if you're going on, even like on a number basis,
Average score.
that will like the amount of 10s on a review, I think those 2 are winning by like a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just funny because I think we all had such a positive experience on the filming of both of those episodes with the album. I think that matters a lot too.
Yeah, that's true.
I've loved that album forever, and being able to bring it on, hearing what you guys thought about it was great. And Carl, it being your first experience with MF Doom was really cool. I just had a really great time with that album in particular because of how much I loved it. I think that's kind of where I was coming from with my list today. Like, I had a lot of fun on the episodes, on the albums that I knew really well, and I was mainly focusing on like what you guys thought of the album.
Sure, man, you only like your own music. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, that makes sense for my third one. Spoiler alert, I guess.
You brought it up as like the review itself, and doing the review made you like the album more. I did not know any of the lore for the D-Loud's review, and it made me go back. I think yesterday I listened to it again just because I wanted a run knowing what was going on.
Or more of it. I didn't even cover all of it. I'm not even sure I learned all of it. And I think I looked for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's very documented.
Like I made a note in the review of like the last 30 seconds being one of the coolest musically parts of it. And then once I found out what it was, I was like, this is terrifying. This made it like 1,000 times cooler knowing what it was.
Yeah, to touch on Food a little for Carson there. That is a very fun album. It's one I've known for a long time. And I think the only reason it didn't make my top is because I'm like, I know that album front and back. And analyzing it is something I've already done before. So I felt like just coming to the episode, like, I'm just going to glaze MF Doom and that's all it's going to look like. It was a very tough episode for me to get through because it's like, I know for a fact I'm just going to like it, not have any good criticism about it, and then get ate up online for just liking it.
Super. I think this is also some of the funniness of like us picking top threes, because I think we went numerically, but like I've agreed with everything Carson said too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear the first one, but I'm excited to listen to it now. So
Food was in consideration for today.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's one of the most fun ones I've brought on. Like the Orpheus is really fun for me, but that's really hard to get into.
I also think that because that string of reviews was like, we hadn't brought any of our own picks in for so long, and then we each got one. I think all 4 of those reviews were maybe not like better albums, but overall better reviews and better videos.
Oh yeah, we were all more excited to talk about them because we were bringing them along, and it's always great to be able to do that.
We can't do that every week like we used to, but it's fun to do it every once in a while.
It is fun to get new fan music. That is always something that I love about our shows, because we get different music. Ironically enough, half of the ones we have all picked have been picked by us, but Somewhere City wasn't one of us. That was a friend that we brought on the show, and it ended up being 2 of our number ones, one of our number 2s. It just goes to show that it's like we really do like new music. And then when we get these comments, some of these albums that we've had that maybe didn't make my top 3 or 5 even have ended up with at least a song in the playlist. I have, I'd say, of the 160 plus, have at least one song in my playlist, so that's pretty good average.
I have two to bring up that didn't quite make the list, but both of them were suggested by people watching.
I'm sitting here thinking, and that's what I'm doing. I'm listing my honorable mentions because as you guys are talking, I'm thinking of other ones that were like similar to that. You know, somebody would bring us this, or it was something that I just had a killer experience with.
I did get to cheat a little bit because I have the full list of even the episodes we've taken down, but
Nice.
I don't think too many of those were going to make the list.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I've probably said this before, but like I'm always impressed at how little just awful music we've had because there's a lot of awful music out there, and overall, I think we've had a pretty good run.
I think genuinely can think of probably 5 episodes at most. I would say like these are terrible, and I think a lot of that just comes down to personal preference. Because one of those albums I would consider did chart numbers, like it did numbers, and I'm like, it's terrible music.
Well, it's like we also get the curse of we tend to do people's second best album for whatever reason,
Yep.
or people's third best album. So we'll do a good album by a band, but not their best album. There's a lot of bands that we've done that, you know, had a 10 album probably. We just didn't do that album. What's the
That is what we call the Valley effect.
Valley? That's it. I was gonna say what was that band? Because it was Valley. Because we did the song review. What was it the next week or 2 weeks later?
Yeah, we did the
think it was the
album
next
on
day.
Friday, and then it was either that next Saturday or Sunday we were doing a filming, like a shoot day, and yeah, we had another Valley song pop up. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we all three looked at each other. We were like, this is awesome.
That was the weirdest one because it wasn't like we walked into the review and we're like, oh, this is kind of mid, and then we heard the good one. It was like, this is good, and then we heard a better one.
Yeah. So I mean, we heard an album that was pretty good, and then we heard something else. And we're like, oh man, why didn't we listen to this? We also get the curse of a lot of things just aren't great for our format.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Especially anything really made past like 2012 is not made to be an album. Unless it's like specifically a concept album. Everything now is made for the singles and whatever else fills out album length so you can sell a vinyl. And it's just how it goes.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's crap. What did Matt bring? Live at the Fillmore? I wasn't here for that one, but you guys did that one.
Yeah.
Fillmore East.
And Fillmore East, that's it. Yeah, Fillmore East. That's not made for our format at all.
No.
Great album, not made for our format. I wasn't even on that episode.
I mean, a 30-minute song wasn't good for our format?
What?
It didn't get completely destroyed for being 30 minutes?
Yeah. What was the other one Matt brought? Because it also
Marcus King.
Marcus King.
Yeah.
And that one
Soul
actually did
Insight.
pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually in my honorable mention. We ready to go to our third album?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for my third album, I chose Silver Scream by Ice Nine Kills.
I chose Sports Finland by Sima.
Those are good. I'm gonna go with Armistice Live by Mew Meth.
I'm gonna go with the Flying Toad Circus by Bug Moment.
Ooh.
Recurring hitter. Let's talk about Bug Moment. Love those guys.
Oh my god, that you guys know the reason that's my favorite. I made sweatshirts for those guys. That friendship spiraled into something awesome. I've loved doing the videos with Bug Moment. Meeting them as people has been awesome. Going to their shows has been awesome. I'm sorry I missed the most recent one. It's my bad. But yeah, it's great to talk to those guys and support them.
Yeah, I was going to save it for the honorable mention segment, but that album was also in mine.
I'm just still writing more albums down. There's gonna be a full page when we're done.
Yeah, that is definitely an honorable mention. Bug Moment are great to us. They're good friends. We got to go see them fairly within reason.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah. I don't know, I was gonna say, I don't even remember my perception
They
of
can
time.
probably.
11
Yeah, we
days
saw them
ago.
we saw them on a Tuesday, and then this thing showed up. So
Yeah,
they can probably carbon date it if they really want to.
pretty much. Yeah, it was a real good show, real good time. They're great people. Continuing to release good music. I'm really excited for. Can't wait for the next album for us to light it up on the podcast. Yeah, Silver Scream. I think genuinely that is the culmination of everything. It's an album I've loved. Was my gym playlist or gym album for a while, still is. And the fact that we had the funny camera, just as the like waiting screen, it just.
It was the second time we had ever had a set change.
And we were all dressed up in dodgeball costumes. That was fun. great all around time there.
Also a great album. That's in my honorable mentions.
This is a goated album.
I still don't think I got it, but it's fine.
Yeah, Sima, that was the fastest I have ever gone from listening to an album to purchasing the vinyl of an album. I think I was like 4 songs in and hunting it down so that I could have it for the live.
If it was not so sketchy, I would have it.
It's not that sketchy. It's pretty sketchy, but
I mean, getting anything into the U.S. is not fun.
Yeah.
Very worth it. Would do it again. Will listen to that album again. It was really narrowing down. It wasn't like the first one that jumped out into my brain when thinking of a top 3, but after I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be the one.
Nice. For me, Mute Math is it's a band I've loved for so freaking long. It was super fun to bring that one to you guys because I kind of wanted to get everyone's opinion on it, which, like it or hate it, whatever. But I think I've liked Mute Math since I can remember them being mainstream at all. They did a tour opening for Switchfoot, I think. I talked about it a little bit in the video. They had a weird history, but some of my friends went to see them live basically accidentally because they opened for someone else they went to see and came back and were like, hey, this is probably the best band I've ever seen live. And their drummer is fantastic. You would love it. And I pretty much instantly got hooked. I always wanted to see them before they broke up, never got to, so that live DVD used to stay in my TV. I used to turn it on all the freaking time.
I think I would have had a better time with that album had I watched it live, the live recording.
Oh, I'm not blaming anybody.
No, I'm just saying I liked it as it was, but I think it would have shot up like a point or 2 on every score if I had the time to do that.
Yeah, there are a lot of like long periods of noises and like crowd screaming and stuff. Like they could have cut it for a live album and put fades in and done all that, but it's for one performance top to bottom. I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah, as far as like a true show goes, because I remember being very harsh on that album, but then my scores did not relate to harshness.
Right.
It's because the music itself is very good. It's just personal preferences. I don't like them screaming without the video, and that's just what it came down to. It's a very good album, though. I highly recommend it, yeah.
We got honorable mentions, but I had a thought. What if we do albums we will probably never do, but we think we would have fun doing?
I think the biggest one that floats around in my mind is Discovery by Daft Punk. That's the one that we have always kicked around, being like, oh, well, do we do it? And we know we really can't.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I wrote down was I was thinking In Rainbows. Like, that's become one of my favorite albums in the last 2 or 3 years. And like when I'm trying to relax and I turn something on, it's gone from being Debussy to In Rainbows, which is the craziest thing in the whole world. But I have started just loving that album, and I don't think I could talk about it. Like I don't think Radiohead's such a weird enigma. I don't think it would work.
My immediate thought wasn't Discovery, but it was like something like Homework, like something from Daft Punk, because us three, I know you love them too, don't you?
I don't hate Daft Punk.
He's indifferent on that.
Yeah,
I know we're super biased when it comes to Daft Punk. At least I am.
I think even putting the biases aside, it's hard to go, yeah, I really like this and that without going so overboard into just all the different samples, which is really cool. And someone has done it already, though. I watched 4 hours worth of videos on sample breakdowns from Discovery by one guy. We definitely aren't fitting that into an hour-and-a-half format.
There's a lot of other albums I love that literally just don't fit our format. That I would never bring you guys on purpose. If someone suggested them, I'd happy to listen to it, but they would get just demolished for the format.
Wouldn't touch a 10-foot pole with Dream Theater with you guys. Carl, I think you guys would
two
like
of-
it, but the actual format itself would destroy half of their music.
That's another one if we would argue what album, because I think Octavarium would do okay, but also it's one song. It's one 20-minute song, not 4 movements. It's like that would be rough. But I don't know. I thought that was an interesting thought. I've thought of some over the years. Wow. I've thought of some over the years that would be cool to do, but just I don't think would work.
Yeah, that's the most messed up part. It's been over 2 years of this.
Whoa.
Yep.
It's a little insane how much we've been doing and how far we've come from start to now. How many months was it without videos? Was it 8?
No, it was like 4 or 5 without videos. We went, it was July to December without videos.
Okay.
And then we started January 1st, and we haven't missed since
Right.
then.
Yeah, then we've consistently put out 1 video a week since then. We've missed a few lives, don't get me wrong. We're, what, like 4 or 5?
4 or 5 that weren't like scheduled breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just, we've done so much. We're going to keep going. A little scary.
Do you want to do the honorable mentions?
Yeah, sure. My first honorable mention was Rose Pink Cadillac by Dope Lemon.
That's a good one.
That was also my first honorable mention.
My first honorable mention was actually The Wonder Years.
Oh,
It's a great album.
My first honorable mention was The Silver Screen. I really love that album.
We definitely like a certain type of music here. And Dope Lemon just was such a nice album for us because it perfectly fits the format. That album is pretty much designed to be picked apart, but the flow kind of screwed itself a little that way. And then I think it was the first one that confidently bringing in, we all knew we liked it, and it was just a test to see if Carl liked it. He passed the vibe check. Yeah.
I wasn't murdered.
Yeah, that was one that I wanted to bring on for a while, and we just didn't really have a chance because we weren't bringing in albums. And then somebody said,
Was that the week? I think that originally Max was supposed to be on that week for
could have been.
post Human Next Gen, for like the first or third time
That's
that he
right.
canceled.
Yeah.
And then he canceled like Thursday.
I'll say we had to like reschedule that one 3 or 4 times, and that was just one of the things we stuck in its place to fix it.
Because we were like, yeah, we could text so and so and get an album, and then I had just bought Rose Pink Cadillac like the week prior at the record store. I was like, well, what if we brought Dope Lemon? And you were like, yes.
Yeah, I think that's been playing. I think you had played it 3 or 4 times, just Dope Lemon in general, and I finally was like, all right, what is this?
I'll say it's one of my like consistent records that I'll put on. So if just people are sitting in the living room, that's usually one of like 4 or 5 that goes up.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I stole it for several playlists. Really good tracks. No, I feel very much the same way about the Silver Screen that you did, Logan. I just thought it was super fun. The second you showed me Ice Nine Kills, I kind of just went way overboard. They became like my #1 artist on Apple Music that year.
As they should.
But I do have a secondary honorable mention, that being Takanaka. All of the Takanaka music that I got shown has influenced what type of music I listen to while I'm relaxing. I listen to so much more like surf rock and like city pop and all that.
So you can see it in your Song of the Days.
Yeah, you really can.
We're almost there. I might get a jazz album on next time we get to choose one, maybe. I feel like we're almost accepting enough now.
I would be very accepting of
I
it.
say, I
You
think
could've done that
ironically
whenever.
enough, you could swing that whenever. It'll be fine.
All right, we'll put Mock Root on the list.
You primed me long enough with all your weird jazz. You're like, hey, you ever heard of Japanese jazz?
Oh, it's so good.
I know Connor's story is different. He had friends that you got friends that got you into some of that stuff, right?
I think it was like I half found it and Max found the rest of it.
Mine was an endless YouTube rabbit hole. Like I somehow ended up in like this weird Japanese jazz rabbit hole, and they kind of have this, like even now they have current jazz going on in Japan. So when I started listening to that, it started like playing classics, and the more of it that played, I was like, oh man, this stuff's awesome.
I think I got 2 more because we already went over Bug Moment, but also want to give a shout out to Purest Expression by the Gambles and Our Blood of by Just a Mess, because that was like that last one was one of the coolest ways we got an album, because they like walked into the store and talked to you about it and gave you the coaster with the album on it like a week before release.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, he just happened to stop by the guitar shop I worked at. So
And then the Gambles, I've been listening to that album pretty much at least once a week since we did that review.
I have a bunch more, but one I wanted to talk about was Minnows.
Oh yeah,
was really cool because not only did I get to talk about the album, and then we got to go see them, and then I got to argue with him backstage about the mix, and no one ever knows that until now. Not really argue. He just kind of wasn't very happy with me, but you know, I think that was super cool because I finally got to see consequences for my actions for once.
Kudos to him too, because we go up there to film this, and he comes directly up to Carl and I. He's like, "So you guys were pretty critical." I was like, you know, trying to PR save face, and Carl was just like, "Yep."
Yeah, I was like, man, I loved the playing. I just didn't like your mix.
Yeah, I think one I always want to give a shout out to is Lesbiana's self-titled. We were quite brutal, and she took it in stride. Signed a CD for us for set. It's currently not up, but it has been in the past. It's like she's a promising young musician, and hope to see where it goes.
Ooh, I got one that you guys didn't like, but I loved. When we did Elliott Smith. No, that's wrong. We all liked Elliott Smith.
I think we all were like, it's pretty good.
No, I'm thinking of Jeff Buckley.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking of that.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that shoot and that.
That was
Gross.
just a crazy fun shoot because I don't know that I can speak for most everyone else, but my Jeff Buckley hate is really to just mess with Steven. To go above and beyond to mess with one of my best friends. I hate that album, and he loves it. But that shoot, oh my gosh, it was the perfect culmination of like the right people hating it and the right people loving it to just create havoc.
You want more? I have Dredge. That was a super cool one. Alex brought that on. Never expected to like something so much randomly, but that was a fun episode. The other one I wanted all of us to talk about for sure was Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Absolutely right.
Which one?
At the Pink
At
Rat.
the Pink Rat.
Oh yeah.
It's usually right behind me.
As I usually swear D-Louse did. It's a very good album.
Well, that was also like the first. No, it wasn't the first time.
It was the second time we reviewed Cherry Poppin' Daddy's.
Well,
First
I was
time.
gonna say it was that artist is the second time we reviewed an album and then interviewed the band right after.
That's true.
I forgot that Bug Moment was first.
Oh, you're talking about the first Cherry Poppin' Daddies album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about when we did. Is it Suit? Yeah,
Yeah.
Zoot Suit's
Yeah, we
the album.
did Zoot Suit
Yeah.
in season 1.
Yeah. Was that my first episode?
You weren't on that one.
You were
You were
just
there
in
for-
the
Oh,
interview.
Just in the
Yeah.
interview. That's right.
Ironically enough, is that like our first Legacy album though? Like someone that we interviewed and then they listened to their next album?
I think Bug Moment's still first. I think that's what he was just saying.
No,
that was
no, they
that
haven't
was
dropped
listen to
another
the
album
and
since.
then interviewed him.
Is this the first interview to drop an album that we've reviewed since the interview?
It might be.
I think most everyone else we've interviewed love the Columbus guys, but they stick to singles and
They haven't
EPs,
dropped.
or like we interviewed them after their album.
Trying to think if we've done that with anybody else at all.
I don't think so.
I kind of don't think we did.
Also, big shout out to all of our guest episodes. Those are huge. Love having guests on. All right.
So I'm still thinking about how I almost got the crap beat out of me at the Minnow Show. That's not what happened, but
Speaking of the Minnow Show, Teeth Marks, when they
Oh,
drop their
yeah.
album,
When they
that
drop
will
their
be
album, that will be on.
back on. I think
That'll
we're
be
gonna-
the second band that we've interviewed.
Yeah, but we didn't do
While
any,
mini, it was
was-
a mini interview.
Yeah, but we also didn't review anything first.
Oh shoot, that is true. This is
There
the
was
first.
nothing to review.
Yeah, this is gonna be wild for them.
hmm
We get to rip them apart on their first thing.
We're also gonna have them on probably.
Woo.
If they can, they'll be there for it.
Let's go.
sick.
They don't know that yet. They might find that out right now.
I was trying to think of reflecting on everything, and I think we covered the topic. Covered everything, and I was trying to go through a list of any bands that we needed to shout out. Is there anybody else we need to shout out?
Harmless
Natalie
Habit
Shea.
wasn't thrown in there. Natalie Shea, a place I know. There's a lot that have
Tiger Made of
fun.
Lightning,
Tiger Made of
Electric
Lightning.
Indigo.
A lot of these bands that have fundamentally formed the internals of the album book.
We have talked about a couple of them. We talked about Max and Matt at least.
That is true.
That's
We threw in members. Yeah, anyone we've talked to in DMs, on video, in person. Huge shout out to you guys. Thank you for giving us the ability to continue doing what we do, but also just giving us the opportunity to talk music with people that also like music.
Yeah, and much like this ancient thing that used to exist called PBS, we exist due to viewers like you. So thank you. In all seriousness, I want to have a cheesy moment.
Also, this is a threat. If we have interviewed you and you drop an album, it will show back up on this show.
It will be here.
There's a handful of people that haven't dropped since the interview. Be ready.
Yeah, just know there's kind of a backlog.
No, they'll jump the
No,
line.
they get priority leagues.
Yeah.
Nice. Wish I got priority.
If you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Goodbye, world.